Cecilia here with another Transgirl CNC, where we talk about comics, cartoons, and other awesome nerd shit. So, we didn't do a bonus video this week. It was a kind of a what-if thing anyway. So we're just going to continue with our regularly scheduled end-of-the-week video. We're now calling them end-of-the-week videos. And yeah, let's get right into that. We're talking about this right here. It's the previews for the month of May. Everything coming out in May that you should get your hands on is in this book. Check it out at your local comic store. Now, as always, I'm going to suggest things to you that I'm getting myself. I would never suggest anything that I'm not getting unless it was super expensive, and I would get it if I could afford it. But that's very rare that we ever do that. There was like a $200 Akira set that I really wanted, and I was like, oh, would have been great. Anyway, let's move on. So coming up is our honorable mention. This is something that you might want to check out, you might not want to check out. Of course, it is called Konohana Kitan from Tokyo Pop Manga by Sakuya Amano. It's basically the story of a fox girl working in a bathhouse for yokai as she makes mistakes and friends along the way. It's very, very standard fare for that kind of stuff. And you know what? I'm going to eat it up. I'm going to love it and enjoy it. But it might not be your thing, so that's why it's the honorable mention. So let's move on to our actual suggestions for the month. Boom, boom. First up is Death and Glory, which actually is featured on the other side of the previous book. Death or Glory. It's from Image Studios, and basically Glory is a woman who got raised off the grid among truckers and a convoy who, taught her to fight for the freedoms of the road, etc., whatever. That's interesting in and of itself. It's pretty much going to borrow a lot from that sort of, 1980s trucker lifestyle, more or less, influence. But Glory herself, the premise of the book is that she has 3 days to pull off 4 incredibly dangerous heists. Meanwhile, she's being trailed by mob killers, crooked cops, and a crazy ex, all trying to take her in for a reward, or die trying, which is why it's called Death or Glory. So it should be kind of interesting. I'm kind of wondering what's going to happen, if we can get more of that convoy life. I don't know. We'll just kind of see how it goes. Moving on, number 3 from 7 Seas Entertainment is Satan's Secretary. So you heard me, Satan's Secretary. It's a manga, and it seems interesting. Basically, the Demon King has awoken. He's ready to get down to brass taxes and business of taking over the world and bringing it down and ruling over it, but doesn't have the correct... He's not very organized. He's not organized enough. So he hires a secretary, a human secretary. And basically, she's all about that secretary life. She's like, it doesn't matter who she's working for. She gets them down to efficiency. And it looks like the Demon King might actually make it. He might, rule the world. We'll see what happens. And as this continues, she's trying to slowly lose her humanity due to her own work ethic and just secretarial gusto. And so it will be kind of funny, I think. I think it's going to be really funny and a great manga. So check it out. That's Satan's Secretary from 7 Seas Entertainment. I'm really looking forward to it. It's by Kamotsu Kamon Abe. Got it. Said it right. Yes. That's our number 3 for the month. Alright, moving on to number 2 now. Number 2 and number 1 both come from the same publisher, Black Mass Studios. Now, as I've mentioned before in these videos, I absolutely love Black Mass and the things they do. Generally, I have a suggestion for them every month. And so it's no surprise that I do this time as well. This time I have 2. This is really great. I like it. The first one up is Dismantlers. It's written by Ari Baki and artist Ashley Woods. And basically, in the future or in another universe, in a different galaxy somewhere, terraforming is basically how real estate's handled. Whole plans are just terraformed and sold off, etc., whatever. Dismantlers follows the story of a really skilled team of dismantlers, roll credits, whose job it is to go to failed terraforming sites and try to salvage whatever is left of the site. Basically, somebody pumped money into this, didn't work out, so they have to reclaim it. And so it's going to be about that, but it's also going to be about their interpersonal relationships with each other, as they're all a standard working crew who have been together a long time. There are feelings and relationships that go along with that, and this story is going to be about kind of navigating those as well, which should be pretty interesting. It's like a sci-fi slice of life, and I'm really into that sort of stuff. Sci-fi 1, slice of life 2, so it works for me. I think it's going to be neat. The art looks neat for it, and I think the premise is pretty cool. So, there's that. Number 1 is, like I said, also from Black Mass Studios, and you might be wondering, how did I pick one or the other, because they're both, to me, they both sound really cool. I haven't even explained our number 1 for them. But the reason I picked number 1, and our number 1 is We Are the Danger from Black Mass Studios. It is written and drawn by Fabian Lillet, who also did Jade Street Protection Services, which was about magical girls forming a sort of neighborhood watch to combat against magical problems in their neighborhood. Sort of. Read it. It's really good. Maybe I'll do a little video about it, because there's only 4 issues of it. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the storytelling style. I enjoyed the art style, which is all Fabian, so I am totally down to read another one of their works. This one is about high school life, so it's kind of more slice of life stuff. 2 slice of lives at the top. It's about Julie, who is a new student at a high school. She's the new student starting out as a senior, so it's really rough to be a new student in a school, but also a senior in a new school. Most of those kids have gone to the same school with each other their entire life, so it's really hard to, connect to somebody, get in on the ground, make friends. It's hard. And Julie's having the worst day of her life ever. It's already an awkward situation. But then she meets Tabitha and really connects with her. They, connect on a real personal level, become great friends. And before they know it, they're talking about making a band. Then they form that band, and they want to get a record deal. Because, of course, why not? Why wouldn't you, I suppose? And the only way they're going to be able to do it is that they win the National Battle of the Bands contest. However, Tabitha's rival, or ex-friend, is, totally gunning for the same thing. And so it's going to be a story about them trying to, be better than Tabitha's ex or ex-friend, and going for the goal. And maybe they'll make it, maybe they won't. A nice thing about Black Mass Studios is that not all their comics have a pretty happy ending. Sometimes it doesn't go the way you think it would. And I really enjoy them for those kind of stories. So that's it. Yep. That's all we're talking about. So the other thing coming up in May is Marvel's going to start its Fresh Start stuff, which we'll see. It's another restart for Marvel, and who knows how that'll go. I think they should just stop trying to please everybody, because Marvel could do everything that everybody asked for, and people would be like, oh, well, you're just giving into what we want. It's Marvel fans are weird. I don't know. That's an entire video in and of itself, and we'll get into it someday, maybe. But until next time, I'm Fire Princess Lily, and until we see each other, love comics, love cartoons, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!